Okay, so we've fitted the oil pressure switch just there, and then the oil temperature switch, which you can't see from the top. I've already put the car down. Now you've got the water temperature. It fits on there. So basically this is the water temperature. This is the only way to accurately hook it up. You need to buy one of these adapter. You can go on eBay, and then you just have to find the hose thickness. So you'll need to get a pair of these digital calipers, and then all you do is simply just zero it out and then just measure the inside diameter. I can't really get it on there, but I'll try and get it on here. But basically just measure the inside, and then it'll tell you how. So roughly you're looking at 40, but the internal diameter is about 38. So this is what I've got out there at the moment. Make sure you put a bit of Loctite. So I'm using this one, Loctite 270, on the actual inner thread here. And as you can see, this one's been earthed as well. I've noticed if you don't ground it, these sensors on these particular gauges do not work. Now the cable goes all the way through the bottom, through the firewall, and then comes out on the other side. Okay, so you'll need to open the glove box. Just obviously unlock it first. On the side of the glove box there's these two little tabs. You just squeeze them in and then it unlocks the glove box. So squeeze the two tabs in and then it'll come up with the cable. So my temperature sensor cable is there, and then you got the oil pressure sensor and the oil temperature sensor wire. I've just used whatever wire I've had spare. These other wires are just for the subwoofer and the amplifier I've got wired in. So once you go up there, you need to feed the wire up through here behind the radio. So you've just pop these back in just to shut it, and then this just pops off. You can get a special tool to pop it out, a special plastic tool, so you don't damage it. It will go in gear, so just be very careful when you start the car. So the radio again will pop off. Just unclip it from either side, and then the whole radio unit comes down. Just careful you don't damage anything. Now I have these gauges. I've used these Race X gauges. They're made by a company called Summit. They're reasonably good quality for the money that you pay for them. These gauges are around about 20 to 30 pounds each. I got a bargain. I got all four off of eBay for 40 pounds. And they come with all the pressure senders, the temperatures, the gauges, everything you need to set it up. Some of the other people actually sell these gauges on their own for 20 quid without the oil pressure sensor, without the oil temperature sensor, and then you have to pay additionally. Like I said, if you get them brand new in the box, it comes with everything you need. I've gone for these type of pod gauge holders opposed to the ones that fit on the A pillar, like this one I bought. As you see, it doesn't fit, and to get one that fits a Type R, unfortunately they're really expensive. The cheapest one I've seen is about £40 on eBay, which only holds two. You can make this fit, and but it's not worth the headache, and that's why I've gone with this fitting. These are about £4 on eBay each. If you buy them from China, they'll take longer to come, but you can get them for about £3. So once you've wired up all the wiring, I've tried to tidy up my wiring a bit, but you've basically just got the power wire, and these yellow wires basically connect to your radio, and you can have the dimmer switch fitted if you need it. So that's all connected up now. Everything's in, so I'll just put everything back. Okay, everything's now plugged in. Remember to take the car out of gear. So now we're going to just check everything's working with the gauge wise. Okay, we're just going to power up the gauges. Oops, turn that off. Okay, so all the gauges are on. I know it looks like on the camera that there's a strobing effect, but it's all to do with the frame rate of the camera. They're not actually flashing like that. As you can see at the moment, without starting the car, I've got oil pressure of 2. The ambient temperature of the engine block is 28 degrees and my ambient temperature of my water is 30 degrees. So just gonna start it up. So you see straight away oil pressure's jumped to 96, 28 degrees on the oil and 30 degrees on the water, and then all the gauges are cold at the moment. As soon as it comes out, it will start warming up. If I accelerate a bit, you can see the oil pressure jumps up a bit. Just on the gauges, I wouldn't buy these cheap Japanese ones. They're rubbish as hell, and it's not worth installing them. They do look cool, but it's not worth installing them. I would go for a brand make like Race X. Now, to wire up the gauges is pretty much straightforward. In each gauge you'll have a wiring diagram inside. So as you see, red is 12 volt, black is ground, blue is temperature sensor, and yellow is the dimmer. The dimmer is basically as you have your radio on, if I turn on my headlights, it will dim the radio screen. As you see, it just dims us a little bit. If you want to dim the gauges, you just wire that into your radio. I can't remember what wire it is, but you can use the meter and just check. So as you see, everything's working. The oil temperature is moved up slightly, and the water temperature does take a time to warm up. So that's it. This is the final part in the video, so hopefully you enjoyed it. If you like it, subscribe. I'll be putting up some more videos just shortly before